Lisa asked, do you use smart scales primarily in the lesson, or do you also assign it as homework?
Let me just give you some examples of the way that I personally have used them. So I have one student with whom I am only using them for sight reading, one key at a time. And we do about 2 pages a week, and that's what we do. I have students that are more proficient, and I might go through an entire unit in a lesson because they're fast, or maybe it's review. Maybe they've already played A major and we're going to use this to review things. And then sometimes I might only just do 1 page. And I just wanted to really encourage you. One of the things that I do with my students is I keep a pencil handy, and anytime they want to write extra fingerings in, I just hand the pencil to them. Because even though there's lots of fingering, there's no way you can play smart scales just by finger number. There just is no way, because there's lots of crosses and all kinds of, there's skips and all kinds of things that go on in them. So there's no right way to use it. It really depends on your student. So you can use them in the lesson only. You can send them home and have them do them. And some of it also has to do with how much support you have at home. So for some of my students, they have a parent that plays really, really well at home. I have some students even that, you know, their parents are also musicians. And so I can send them home with them, and they can actually play the accompaniments with them, which they really, really enjoy. But in fact, sometimes I think the parents enjoy it more than the kids do. The parents love playing these things. But there's no wrong way to do it. But it's certainly a very flexible product. You can use it in many different ways. And I've even had teachers write to me and say they use them as their own personal warm-up before they're going to start practicing. They'll just sit down and play through a bunch of smart scales just to get their fingers warmed up and moving around, because otherwise, you know, sometimes when you think, well, I want to warm up, but you don't know what to do. So it's just a way of kind of getting your brain and your fingers all hooked back together again. So there's many, many different ways you can use them successfully.
Yeah, I would also just chime in real quick, Diane, because students, the nice thing about the way you wrote them in 6/8 timing and melodiously is that even if they don't have a parent that can play with them, they're still enjoyable and musical. And there's still so many opportunities to make them musical. So I wouldn't hesitate to assign them to the student even without the support of somebody playing. Yeah, I just want to make sure that was clear. So yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think the other thing is, you know, part of the reason they're in 6/8 is because there are these opportunities to sort of hang for a second, da 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 da, da 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 da, and even something simple like that one extra long note in the middle gives them a chance to kind of collect themselves. And so it really, I've never had a rhythmic problem with teaching them to students. They just don't do them wrong because doing them right is easier.